Hello and welcome to Between the Seams, our new LinkedIn Live series where we do a deep dive into each of the pillars of MuleSoft Agent Fabric. My name is Rohan Bediuncle, and I'm on the product marketing team here at MuleSoft. And today I'm happy to tee up our first ever episode, which will highlight agent governance. Now, before I hand it off to our special guest, Mariano Sanchez, who's going to be demoing these new capabilities, let me take us through a quick overview of what MuleSoft Agent Fabric is. Let's dive in. We know that customers have nearly 900 different applications across their business, which leads to disconnected data in siloed applications. But today, a new kind of fragmentation is accelerating. AI agents are popping up everywhere. They're being embedded in SaaS platforms, built in-house, and they're even being packaged with popular LLMs. As AI agents everywhere start to multiply, organizations are now facing an unmanageable explosion of disconnected silos. Each agent promises to streamline tasks within its own application, but they're blind to the broader enterprise, unable to orchestrate actions across domains and lacking the guardrails necessary for secure cross-ecosystem collaboration. As more and more agents get built and onboarded, these challenges compound. You lose track of which agents are being deployed and where they are, leading to siloed agents and trapped value. Agents also aren't able to find the tools, the resources, or the other agents that they need to get work done, leading to inconsistent experiences. The lack of control and visibility that you have across all of your agents exposes your organization to security and compliance risks. And limited insight into how your agents are actually operating and making decisions limit process improvements and leave you with inefficient workflows. The proliferation of agents is inevitable, but struggling with these challenges isn't. Now is the time to take control and harness the explosion of agents. And this is why we've launched MuleSoft Agent Fabric. MuleSoft Agent Fabric turns uncontrolled agents into a governed and highly coordinated, intelligent network. It brings all of your agents into a single place so that you can easily be discovered. It enables you to execute complex processes that require multiple agents and tools with security and governance at the forefront. And it gives you a holistic view into all of your agent interactions, no matter where that agent was built or where it was hosted. Using MuleSoft Agent Fabric, you'll be able to bring control and governance to your AI strategy, helping you accelerate your journey to becoming an agentic enterprise. MuleSoft Agent Fabric is built on 4 core pillars. First, you can discover your agents. We provide a central registry where every agent, no matter where it's built, is cataloged and made easy to find, reuse, and compose into solutions. Next, you can orchestrate your agents. We give you the ability to connect and coordinate agents across ecosystems so that multi-step processes can run smoothly and agents can work together to deliver the right outcome. Then you can govern your agents. We provide the guardrails to ensure that every single agent interaction is consistent, compliant, and secure, so innovation happens with confidence. And then finally, you can observe your agents. We provide end-to-end visibility into how agents are making decisions and performing, turning that black box of AI into something that's more transparent and more accountable. Together, these capabilities transform disconnected agents into a unified and trusted digital workforce. On today's episode, we're going to be focusing specifically on agent governance. Now, agent governance is made possible through enhancements to MuleSoft's existing API gateway. This is called Flex Gateway. By extending support for MCP and A2A policies within Flex Gateway, we're empowering every team to enforce the agent guardrails that their enterprise needs. We're helping them apply consistent policies, compliance, and security controls across every agent interaction, whether it be agent to agent or agent to system interactions, and regardless of where these agents are actually running. Think of this as an enterprise policy framework for your agent network, ensuring agents act responsibly, securely, and in alignment with business objectives. To see this in action, I'm going to pass it off to Mariano, who's going to take us through a demo of how this all comes together.
Hello, everyone, and nice to meet you. My name is Mariano Sanchez, and I'm a MuleSoft ambassador. Also, I'm leading the MuleSoft community in Mexico City. I have around 10 years of experience working with integrations, event-driven solutions, DevOps, and cloud-native solutions. Also now I'm an AI practitioner. I will present you the governance pillar of Agent Fabric. Let's see how Agent Fabric can solve a real problem. In the company is automating identity provisioning via agentic workflows as part of their agentic transformation. An agent now registers new employees into the corporate IDP. This process involves sensitive data and compliance risk. Without the proper kind of governance, trust and auditability are compromised. Now, security policies must be enforced across all the agent solutions. As a solution, the company has decided to use MuleSoft Agent Fabric to govern agents and MCP servers end-to-end via Flex Gateway to enforce security, trust, and traffic control. Policies will be centralized, versioned, and auditable. Agent actions will be tracked and compliant by design to ensure safe, scalable agentic transformation. Now, let's see what the company did. The technical team that is aware of this solution has decided to create a MuleSoft application that is acting as MCP server, and the technical team has deployed this application into Cloud Hub 2. This MCP server is exposing two different tools. One tool is about the employee registration, which connects to the ADP and registers a new employee. The second tool is to check what is the status of the employee registration given the name, the email, or the employee ID. Now, the integration team has documented and published the MCP server in Exchange. Using this published asset, a new MCP instance is deployed in the Flex Gateway. Two key policies are attached to govern its behavior. The first is the client enforcement, ensuring only authorized applications can access the MCP server. The second policy is the schema validation, allowing only well-formed, compliant requests to be processed. Together, these policies ensure the MCP enforce trust boundaries and guarantee reliable integration. The integration team developed a Mule app exposing an agent task listener and an agent card. This Mule app has been using Mule AI chain connectors to reason using one of the company's approved LLMs and is connected to the MCP server exposed by the Flex Gateway. The agent is first documented and published in Exchange as an agent card. Then it's exposed through the Flex Gateway to make it accessible across environments. To secure it, we attach two critical policies. The client enforcement policy ensures only authorized applications can send requests, and the PII detector policy blocks any prompt containing sensitive data like credit cards or social security numbers. This setup protects the agent and enforces compliance, building trust in autonomous execution. Now, our MCP tools are fully protected and governed. We also have secured and policy-compliant agent ready for enterprise use. An Slack app was created and authorized to access the employee registration agent. This app is restricted to the HR team, who now interact with the agent directly from Slack. Every request is secure. Every response is compliant. We have enabled trusted and autonomous onboarding by governing with the Flex Gateway. Now it's time to show the demo. So I will go through the Anypoint platform and I will show you the applications that I have created in the runtime. I have the MCP Mule application that is deployed into Cloud 2 containing the two different tools, one for the employee registration and the other one for the employee registration status. Also, I have deployed the agent application in Cloud Hub 2. This is exposing the agent task listener. Now, if I go through Exchange, you will see that I have documented my MCP and my agent card. So this is my MCP server, which contains the two different tools that I have exposed. And I have my agent card exposed here. This is the employee registration agent, which contains all the details of my agent cards. If I go through the API manager, you will see that I have the MCP server and the agent to agent cards. So this MCP server is being protected using the client enforcement policy and the MCP schema validation. And if I go to my employee registration agent, I have the client ID enforcement policy and I have the A2A PII detector. Now, let's test it using the Slack application. So let's assume that I'm an HR team from the HR team and I will request the onboarding on a new employee. Now my agent is reasoning and is taking the decision of which tool it will use. So as you can see here, now my employee has been registered. The employee ID has been generated. The position ID has been assigned accordingly to the role, and a new email has been provided. Now the onboarding status is in progress. Let's see if I want to check the employee registration using the employee ID. I will start a new chat. Now, the agent has told me that the employee registration for the employee with ID is completed. Now, let's see what happens if I try to enter or register a new employee using the security social number or the credit card number. Now, I'm seeing that the request has been rejected and it's telling me that the request contains PII data sensitive of type SSN. This is the same if I try to register a new employee using the credit card number. And now I will see that the request, it failed and is telling me that it contains PII sensitive data of credit cards. Now, let's see what happens if I remove the access of the agent in the policy. So I have this contract that is HR leadership team. I will revoke the access now. I will wait some seconds and I will try to register a new employee again. Now we are seeing that the reply is you are not authorized to use this agent, request access. Let's see what happens if I try it one more time, giving the access again. Now I'm having access to the agent again and the new employee has been registered.
Hello, thank you so much for tuning in to our Between the Seams Govern series. Now we are going to kick it off to Q&A, so I'll lead it off to Rohan.
Awesome. Hey, thank you so much for joining today. Would love to see any questions that we have in the chat. Let's see, starting off here with the agent registry. Right? Yeah, so one question here, what can we actually put into the agent registry? So currently you can put in any agent or MCP server, right? And we're also staying committed to kind of evolving this as time goes on. So with new technologies that are coming out for agents or agent interactions, we'll be able to use this to, we'll be updating the registry to support these new kind of functionalities. Right. Another question that we are getting here is on the models. And maybe Yogesh, you can take this one. But what models can you use for the agent broker?
Yeah, so at the time of launch, we are supporting Open AI Direct API and Azure Open AI models. And in coming weeks, we will support Einstein provided large language models, as well as models from Google Vertex, Amazon Bedrock, as well as Claude models. So watch out for our announcements for additional model support.
Very cool. One on, how do you actually get started? If you want to get started with Agent Fabric, there's a lot of different components. How do you actually get started? And I can take this. A lot of Agent Fabric is built on the MuleSoft that you know and love. One of the fundamental pieces of Agent Fabric is that you don't need to start with a new tech stack, right? You have MuleSoft, and it's an evolution of what we already have, and it's evolution of any platform. So a lot of functionality you get with the base subscription, right? Agent registry and is really just Exchange underneath the hood, and you can use it with your base subscription and start playing around with it. For some of the other components of it, the broker, governance, visualizer, you do need some subscriptions, additional functionality. So Manage Flex Gateway, and API Manager being two of the big ones. But again, going back to kind of the fundamentals, this isn't meant to be starting from scratch. You're not starting with new tools. It's all an evolution of what you already have. I see one here for Mariano. Mariano, yeah, how long did it take you to actually put all this together? How easy was it to use?
Actually, it was very easy. I would say that all the evolution that MuleSoft is having with this product is straightforward. So actually, the demo it was very easy. It's like I developed an application using the MuleSoft AI chain connectors, and then I onboarded this into Exchange, and then I promoted into the Flex Gateway. It was pretty easy. It's like if you're developing an API, but for agentic. So you put the policies in the Flex Gateway, and the Flex Gateway is taking charge of the full governance of this. Is what pretty straightforward.
Very cool. Very cool. Let's see here. I guess thinking about like roadmap. Some questions here on what's next and how we're going to be developing these capabilities. Yogesh, where do you see us going from here now that we've released Agent Fabric? What are some of the big priorities in terms of what we want to improve and enhance?
Yeah, so definitely, so different pillars of Agent Fabric that Rohan as well as Mariano talked about, whether it is discover, observe, govern, or orchestrate, we are going to continue enhance those capabilities. So for example, from discover or agent registry perspective, in addition to support for A2A agents as well as MCP servers, there will be support for large language models. So you can see all your AI assets in a single place in agent registry, right? Right now, the registry requires manual registration. There will be enhancements in terms of automating some of those capabilities. So automatically bring your agents from different platforms in a single place. On orchestration, we currently support the agentic loop pattern, right? But there are a lot of other patterns that are evolving in the world of AI. So we are evaluating those patterns and see what are more applicable for our customer base, and there will be support for those. I already touched upon the support for additional LLMs in addition to open AI models, whether it is from direct API access or from Azure. So support for various models, irrespective of where they run. And then lastly, from visualizer perspective, currently we are supporting more a coarse granular view, right? So there is support for A2A node as well as MCP server. We are going to provide more granular support, right? So in addition to MCP servers, there will be support to see your MCP tools as well. So you will not only see what is the MCP system, but also what specific functionality is being invoked from there. There will be roadmap exchange that we are launching, which is our publicly visible portal where you can see all our roadmap items along with the timeline when they'll be available. And we would love to get feedback from the community in terms of the timeline, whether you're getting enough details and transparency in terms of where the product is going.
Very cool. One about the policies that we actually saw in action, right? We provide some out-of-the-box policies, but what if there's something that we don't have out of the box? We can build custom policies for A2A and MCP.
I need to check that with our product team. I know our governance is based on top of our existing Flex Gateway, which supports building custom policies. But I'll confirm whether A2A and MCP policies can be customized and you can build your own policy or not.
Gotcha. Very cool. Yeah, we'll circle back with that one. And let's see here. I think that's all I see on my end. Anything else you guys want to end with before we wrap up?
I will say nothing from my side.
Yeah, no, there are some questions around recording. but our attendees, who could not join the full session or who could not join at all, will be making that recording available. I see Coco has already responded to the question.
Gotcha. Very
Awesome.
cool.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. We'll end that and make sure you tune in to our next Between the Seams episode this Thursday. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.